Markton as well. As I mentioned before, the tickets will still be on sale if you want to buy some. Also, if you haven't registered, as I mentioned, see Isabel. She'll take your money for registration to help pay for the meal and all the festivities that we've had. And also, if you want to buy a history book, I think they're really well put together. Barb or Isabel or somebody will take the money, provide you with as many as you want, almost anyway. I think there is a limit, but we do have quite a few extras. If you want to take them home for your friends or your family or as Christmas gifts, whatever, they're available. In a program, you know, there always has to be a time for the person up here to say a word or two, and I'm not going to take too much of your time. You don't want to listen to me. You want to visit with one another. I just want to say one or two things about the Dobko family. Sometimes the women in the family are just maybe a little off the beaten track. For example, the other day Isabel and Mike were down at the cafe and they were having supper. And Isabel says to Mike, "Mike, don't turn around, but who is that sitting behind you?"
Probably true. I wasn't there.
As you know, Iris works once in a while, I think. So one day when Pete had his day off, he was at home, she wanted to phone him. So she calls in her home number and Pete answers. Iris says, "Oh, hi Pete, you're at home, are you?" Those aren't the only two, you know. Phyllis decided she should have a little holiday one time, so she just went away for a few days, and while she was gone, a friend of Clarence's happened to pass away, and Clarence had been at the funeral, and when Phyllis came home, he said to Phyllis, he says, "I was over at my friend's funeral yesterday." "Oh," Phyllis says, "is he dead?" But these are just some of the things, you know. There's even one about Aunt Rose. One day, you know, this was a few years ago, she was in a bathroom, she was having a shower, and the doorbell rang. So she says, she hollers out, "Who's there?" And the fellow says, "I'm the blind man." "Oh," Aunt Rose says, "just a minute." So she gets a towel and she wraps it around herself and goes down the hall, and just before she gets to the door, the towel slipped off, and she thought, "Oh, what the heck, the guy's blind, you know, nothing can happen anyway." So she opens the door and she says, "Come on in." He looks, he says, "My, you've got a lovely body. Now where do you want me to hang the blinds?" Enough of that. I think we all know the rest of the stories about our families and so on, and you can find out later. You know, when we think of family history, it often reminds me of history that we studied at school. You know, you go back 10th century, you know, and even time before Christ. And yet, when you stop and think, there is a lot of family history, which to most of us, I suppose, maybe began about 100 years ago. Maybe in Europe, just before my grandma and grandpa came to Canada. But the real start of it was here, in Saskatchewan, in Jedburgh area. This was, to me, history. When this young couple with 4 children set out on this long journey, they must have had a lot of courage. And also, they must have been quite determined to leave their homeland, to come to a strange place, and to start a new life. This is what, as I say, I call history. I think this is a message that can be passed on to particularly the young people here, that you don't have to study history at school. It's right here where you make it. All you have to do is have the courage, set your goals, stick to it, and you will be a historian as well. I will always be proud to be a Dobco, and I'm sure that all of you here are proud to be connected with the family. If you weren't, then you wouldn't be here. That's it for me. I will now call on Phyllis. I knew Betty would do that. She said she'd get even. I think Phyllis has a bit of a toast to give us. Sure, that's fine.
It sounded like you were reading some of my notes.
No.
Isn't it interesting to know that we are all gathered here today because of two people who at the turn of the century decided to immigrate to Canada? Can you just imagine uprooting a family and leaving relatives and friends behind to come to a strange country? It must have been difficult to travel across an ocean and miles across a strange foreign country with four small children. Four more children were born in Canada. That was in the days before cameras. It's difficult to imagine the hardship and times our grandparents and parents endured. I know some of us can remember the days before electricity and running water in our homes or driving cars and thought we had a difficult time. Clearing the land with oxen and horses to build and to provide food and shelter for the long hard winters took much time and hard work. But with determination and pride, they continued to strive for a better life. The children grew up and went their different ways and to start a new life with their children. We are here tonight because we all share a common bond. We are all either children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and even great-great-grandchildren of Mike and Mary Duffer. Please join me in a toast to our grandparents and parents.
Thank you, Phyllis. Very well put. We even have a little reply to that, and we'll ask Aunt Rose to do that. She only has 7 pages.
On behalf of my 2 sisters, Kay and Ann, I'd like to thank everybody for coming here to our Doctor family reunion. And it's sure nice to see everybody smiling and so happy. And I sure hope that you all get acquainted, because I'm sure that some of you don't know what family belongs to who. I even made a Google today thinking it was my niece, Betty, and here it was her daughter, Pam. So, however, I just wished, or we wished, that our 4 brothers and my sister could have been with us, and also our dear sister-in-law, who recently passed away. Well, who knows? Maybe they're with us in spirit. And most of all, we just must thank the 2 ladies that worked the hardest, and that's Isabel and Barb. And believe me, if it wasn't for them, we sure wouldn't be gathered here today. And Bob, I thank you too, because I'm sure you did a lot of babysitting and probably had to do a lot of dishes and everything else, and making your own meals. And also Mike, I'm sure you had your hands in the dishwasher too. So thank you very much. And also, I'd like to thank Tony and Carol, because I'm sure that they made a lot of trips to Yorkton, giving them advice about this reunion. Thank you very much, and everyone that helped. And we mustn't forget my sister-in-law, Mary, which I'm sure she had a lot of sleepless nights planning how to make this quilt. So with Isabel's and Barb's help, they designed this beautiful quilt. And with Mary's two neighbors, Isabel and Mary, and of course myself, my fingertips are still sore quilting, because I'm not used to this wearing the thimble. So thank you very much. So I think this is about all. So thank you all for coming, and I hope you all have a nice time.
Thanks very much, Aunt Rose. I did make a lot of trips, actually about one or two. I gave a lot of advice, and no one took it. Okay, we've got a couple of presentations or so that we'd like to make here, and we'll call on, I'll just ask Isabel to come up here and she can sort of help me out with this. Please, if we've made a mistake, don't tell us, just accept it in good faith. Okay, we have just a little remembrance for the oldest family member that is here tonight, and I think it's Aunt Annie, even though she maybe doesn't want to admit it. But we have a little presentation to give you, Aunt Annie, for remembrance here. Okay, now we'll just go to the other extreme. We've also got someone here, which we thought would be nice for them to have, is the youngest family member. And perhaps maybe years from now, this young member can show other people what he received at this first reunion. And that is Stephen Koroluk, Barb's little fella that's sort of dancing around the floor here. There he is. Okay, we thought, well, we were trying to think of some other things that we could do, and we came up with another idea. Perhaps the oldest grandchild of Mike and Mary, and going by the history book, we have a little remembrance here for Ann Dorman. Ann, would you come and accept it, please? And then we also have one for the youngest grandchild, and really happy to see him. I haven't seen him for quite a while. We'll ask Randy Jobco to come up here, please. See, Randy, you didn't want us to think you were young, but we know you are. And we have one more gift, and we thought we'd give this to the person who perhaps had to travel the farthest, and through a lot of measurements and so on, we determined that this should go to Lloyd Collins. Lloyd, would you come up? Lloyd's from down around San Francisco somewhere, in that part of God's country. Thank you, Isabel. Okay.
Don't let it start, so never quit.
I said, I just want to thank everybody for coming. I said it was really, really exciting planning this and getting letters from everybody and saying they were coming. Like, it was really exciting, and I I was happy, and as everybody says, oh, you've done so much work, but I really enjoyed it, and thank you for coming. Say hi. Say hi. Why you can't see it in your phone?
Okay, I'll probably be repeating myself just a wee bit right here, but again, I want to express our thanks to all the ladies who contributed towards that quilt. I'm sure you're all as beautiful, and whoever gets it is going to have a great keepsake of this reunion. Also, anyone who contributed to the history book. I'm sure we all sent in write-ups or else phoned them in or whatever it might be, so looked up pictures. So it took us some time. So thanks to all those who did send in all the information that was available to them. Also, I want to thank everyone again for coming. It's really super that you made that effort. Hope you stay, enjoy yourself for a while tonight. Tomorrow, everyone here is invited to breakfast at Mike and Isabel's, starting about 10 o'clock. If you all come at 10, you probably have to wait a while. But we'll start breakfast about 10, and hopefully we'll be finished by about 12 o'clock. So please do drop in, do a little more visiting, have a bite to eat, and then the rest of the day will be whatever you would like to do. Just visiting around, visiting, whatever, driving in the country, sort of on your own. Just one more little story I thought I should throw in here, even though it doesn't have much to do with the reunion. But you know, the last few years have been a time of women's lib. I always like to get in this little story about the women, because they're a great bunch. But there are these women who are working at a government building, and they didn't like the idea that only men were getting all the promotions. So they thought they'd stage a protest. And as a means of a protest, they burned their bras. Needless to say, it turned out a big flop. You know, when you're doing a history book, I'm sure most of us don't realize how much time it involves when you have to do all the typing, make all the corrections, put it all together, organize everything, take it to the printers, run back with it, edit it, send it back, whatever it all involves. But I know, and you know, there's hours and hours of work. What about that family tree we all look at? And we know, oh yeah, this is where we came from, and that's where that person came from. That family tree alone, to organize it, involved many, many hours of work. And we owe a great debt of gratitude to Barb for all this work that she did on the history book. If there are any mistakes, blame her. No, don't either. You just did it with the information she had. It was really super, and as Andrew mentioned, I'm sure Bob did help out, whether it was in organizing and babysitting, whatever it may be. But for your many, many hours of work, Barb, thank you very much. And I'd like you to come up here and accept a little gift on behalf of all of us. So would you please come up, Barb? Barbara, a special thank you to you from all of us here.
Thank you. It was fun doing the book. I enjoyed it. It was lots of hours, but lots of fun. I'm glad I did it. Thanks for sending all your information. I couldn't have done it without the information.
Okay, there's one other presentation I want to make, and I'm going to get Ann Rose back here again to make this other presentation.
Isabel, would you come forward, please? With all this hard work that you did, I think you deserve a great big hug. And thank you very much, because I'm sure that you really did all you wrote up that letter, and then you went to buy Natalie's and make copies on your Xerox machine, and you have to send all the letters away. And then when you received the letters, you went through them, and then you have to send them to Barb. And of course, with Barb's help, got together and sent all these letters to get these beautiful books made. So thank you very much. And on behalf of us all, I'd like you to...
Well, thank you very much.
I could see Mike's lips saying, "Take it, Isabel, take it." Thank you very much.
Okay, one more guest appearance we have for tonight, and I hope we can talk her into it, but some of us know that Aunt Annie has sort of a favorite song. And we'd sure like Aunt Annie to sing this song for us. Something about the bacon frying in the pan or something. Do we want to hear her? You can sing right there.
Yeah.
Maybe Aunt Rose would help you. Maybe Aunt Rose would help you.
I'm not much of a singer, but we used to go to my grandson. We used to go to those cottage, and he'd be the first one to get up and fry the bacon and brew some coffee. So I could smell it, so I'd get up and I'd sing him this song. And then Joe would be still sleeping. So I said, "Those tasty strips of bacon sizzling in the pan, coffee just steaming in a baked and gallon can. Breakfast is already good enough for any man. Take me back to old Montana, the place where I was born."
Do we have any more, or is that it?
Here's another one, Tony, here's another one.
We have an encore.
Okay. This is just Ukrainian old. My mother used to sing it. Swingy ribki, Urusheta morkli, tu domu, Dzieci ciepło.
Thank you very much. As I mentioned, this is probably our first official reunion. We hope we have more sometime in the future, and we hope that everyone can come out again, and in fact maybe a few of the others that couldn't make it this time. So now I'll just say thank you. I've enjoyed doing this little job, and I hope we all have a lot of fun visiting, talking, the bar is open, and what have you. You want to take pictures or anything, go ahead. The evening's yours. We've got this place from now till 4 in the morning. Am I right there? Ah, close anyway. Okay, thanks very much.
Ask if anybody wants more.
I'm not finished. We're going to have a quilt draw right away. If somebody wants a last minute ticket right now because the draw will be made, whatever. The bar is open. Go ahead, help yourselves if you want to have a smidgen or whatever. Pardon? Oh, I am. Actually, I'm not sure, but I think the lady that was the most responsible for this quilt, I'll get her to make the draw. And I know she wants to be nice to me because she's my mother, so maybe I can win it.
Sing, Laura.
Okay, mother, look in there really deep somewhere. Find a name.
I worked the hardest, Mary. I worked the hardest.
I don't believe this. The winner is Colin Liss. He's not here. We have to draw another one.
They gotta be present.
What happened to Colin? Did he go?
He just went.
That's Mike and Isabel's son, in case you're wondering. Thanks to everybody who helped pay for this quilt.
Sing, Laura. Sing. Sing. Hello.
This one?
This one.
Oh, it's one of those little
The
ones.
little black one there.
Oh, I was looking at the big one.
Donated by Grandma.
I was looking at the big one.
It's a Ukrainian quilt.
It went to Steve, probably went to his son.
No, it's Russian.
Oh, a Lawson one. Okay, well still, then it's actually mine.
Does Mike want his piece of lumber back home or not?
Laura's.
He probably does. That's probably
I wish I
enough.
hadn't told you that. You guys be off. She was so proud to do
Oh, I wouldn't say nothing. I'm just joking. I know, I can't read the
it. And everybody like this.
We're missing 2 dozen beer right now.
Why?
I don't know that.
Okay, we ready?
Because we brought 4 dozen and there's only 2 cases. He said that's all it came.
Oh, the wedding next door.
So take the case.
No wonder
Make
that
sure.
beer is warm.
Oh, he wanted to check with this other guy.
Remember we said that beer was just sitting out there?
In the porch.
We had it in the cooler.
How many was it? 44 cases of beer out there, right?
Is it anybody's bringing in?
Yeah, the women did. They told us to put it there.
Well, it's on
In
the
the
permit.
cooler.
Where's your permit? Show your permit, it's marked on there what we've got.
Here's our beer.
Who is it?
A little late.
$36 Canadian. That? Maybe you didn't write. Mike, we had 2 cases of light and 2 cases of Canadian.
We had 5 cases.
4 cases.
3, 4. Right, 4.
I heard one.
I'm going to check again.
Exactly. That must have been more than that.
There's 4. No, not beer.
I didn't even see it sitting there.
We can dance now, you know.
Yeah.
I gotta get down.
I have one too.
This man who woke up the morning with
Yes, sir.
You had to talk louder, Lori.
Well,
You guys sound like
Okay.
switch.
This man wakes up on the floor of the bar. This man, he wakes up on the floor of the bar. Hey, he looks on the half of the bar. He looks this big fat squaw laying there next to him. Eh? Oh. So he rolls over to the other side.
No problem.
Holy shit, squaw laying there looking at him. Then this one, she's got her eyes wide open. She's just glaring at him. Takes over. She says to him, don't look at me. I want to ride straight. Takes over.